For you, like, how do you attract good tenants for your properties?
Again, part of it is having a good product, and then you have to be able to advertise and market the properties in a variety of different ways and manners, whether it's grassroots or online or through the community or through friends and family. Nowadays, a lot of people are
Building wealth through real estate. Adam, how do we do this?
That's a loaded question. As a real estate agent, I'm a bit biased when it comes to buying properties to build wealth. There's a lot of different ways to build wealth, but buying properties, in my opinion, is the safest way to go about doing that. There's a lot of different ways to, when you're looking to invest in property, there's a lot of different ways to look at it. Some people will look to buy a property that will increase value over time and don't care as much about making a profit on a monthly basis from rent. Other people prefer the opposite. They want to make a monthly income from a rental property or an investment property and don't necessarily care about the long game, if you will. And then there are others that are looking to make a monthly income and are looking for something that don't care necessarily as much about the long game. And then there are others that want both, that want to see their property increase in value as well as make an income. As an investor myself, I fall into the latter category. I want to be able to buy something that I know is going to appreciate over time and where I can make a monthly profit. And when you're looking to buy a property, you have to identify a home that you believe is going to do that, whether it's a single family, a condo, or multifamily. In my experience, where I live in the greater Boston area, the most effective way to achieve this is through a multifamily property. And so when I look to buy homes, I look to buy multifamily homes, 2-unit buildings, 3-unit buildings. I'm always looking for something that is going to increase in value over time. So I'm looking for something that might be near a school or a hospital where there's always going to be an influx of potential tenants. I'm also looking for something that is overall in decent shape. I don't mind putting sweat equity into a property like paint, cosmetic stuff, but I'm not necessarily looking to get involved with putting in new heating systems, new plumbing, new electrical. I prefer, and this is again just a personal choice, I prefer to buy something that has those things already done and then just tackle more of the cosmetics. Now, that's not to say that in my time I haven't done these things. I've updated kitchens. I'm in the process this coming summer with one of my properties of converting from oil to gas heat. There are things that I do, but depending on your level of comfortability and what you are looking for, maybe you're looking for a complete fixer-upper where you can save money by doing all the work yourself, or maybe you're looking for something that has already had a lot of work done. Those properties are most likely going to be more money. And so then you need to figure out what your rent is going to, and then work backwards. So for me, I want to clear, after all of my expenses per month, I want to make $1,000 net. That's minimum after all of my expenses are paid. So after my mortgage, my taxes, my water bill, my sewer bill, any kind of landscaping or snow removal that I have to pay, I want to be able to clear $1,000 minimum per month. Some investors won't touch a property unless they see something $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. And others are just happy having the mortgage paid off every month and don't care about making a profit. So it's very individualized depending on what you're looking for. So those are some things that you need to figure out. You need to always work backwards when you're buying an investment property. And by that, okay, how much is this going to cost me to buy? How much is it going to cost me on a monthly basis? And then what can I charge for rent, either in as-is condition, or if I update a kitchen or I put in a new bath, how much can I charge for rent? And you have to work your numbers. Those are some things to keep in mind. And again, you do want to make sure that you're buying in an area where you're going to be able to get tenants. For me, I like to have good stable, long-term tenants. I'm not interested necessarily in having turnover every year. I don't have a management company with my properties. I manage my properties myself, but you can hire a management company to manage them for you. That way you're completely hands-off. They take care of everything. They find the tenants, they do all the maintenance, all of that, and they will charge a monthly fee, usually between 5 to 10% of the rent, the monthly rent. So again, if you don't live near your properties, having a management company is going to be essential, but it's going to eat into your profit. So those are just some tips. From the financial standpoint, the mortgage standpoint, because this isn't your primary residence, the loan program is going to be slightly different. For example, here in Massachusetts, for me, if I want to buy a multifamily property, I'm going to have to put down at least 25% of the purchase price right up front. Unlike with an owner-occupied property where I can put down as little as 5%. So you will need to talk to your loan professional about what kind of programs you can qualify for and what kind of programs you can get if you're buying a investment property. Those numbers will vary depending on state as well as the type of property you buy.
Yeah, that's a lot of information. I'm curious about the two different types of houses. So, because you said you've tried two different things. So one, which is buying houses which needed a lot more work, and then now you focus on more houses that need more cosmetic work. What was like for you? What was the transition like, or why the switch? Or what's your experience been like with purchasing houses that needed a lot more work?
I am not a handy guy. I'm envious of people who love to flip homes. You can make a great career in some parts of the country flipping homes. But it's important to note that when you're a house flipper, that's not considered an investment. That's considered a job. And you're taking the money that you make from flipping that home and then you're putting it into the next one. Maybe you're taking a little bit of out, but what I like to do is I like to buy properties. Now, again, some people like to be in and out quickly, but for me, I like to see my properties grow over time. I like to build my real estate portfolio over time. And so that's how I like to do it. When you're buying something, again, if you're not a handy guy or gal, you don't want to necessarily buy something that's going to need a ton of work, because then you're going to have to hire a general contractor and that's going to cost a lot of money and could be time consuming. And plus you don't know what's behind the walls of the homes, especially older buildings. I mean, you might be opening a can of worms. So for me, I prefer to buy stuff that, again, is in fairly good shape, that only might need cosmetic updates. For short money, you can really make a property really glow and attract new tenants. It's amazing what a can of paint, some mulch, and a couple of other things can do to really make a home shine. That's my preference.
It's a lot of the house is visual. So paint is a huge visual aspect of a house, and that sometimes doesn't get done before people sell their house and stuff.
And I'll say too, just the other thing is, I'm a firm believer that if you have a good product and you are a good landlord, then you will attract good tenants, and your tenants will be willing to stay longer and pay more. And that's important to me. There are plenty of landlords out there who don't care. They don't care what kind of condition the home is in, but it just depends on what your wants are. And for me, I'd rather be able to present a nice product that people can feel good about, and that I know as a result I can get more money for, and know that, hey, these people are going to want to be here, not just for 6 months or 12 months, for years.
For you, how do you attract good tenants for your properties?
Again, part of it is having a good product, and then you have to be able to advertise and market the properties in a variety of different ways and manners, whether it's grassroots or online or through the community or through friends and family. Nowadays, a lot of people are doing Airbnbs and furnished apartments as well. So that's a whole nother topic. And then you have to be very good about who you select. And again, Massachusetts is a very tenant-friendly state. You cannot discriminate, but you, as a landlord, you do have the right, of course, to do background checks and look into anyone who is wanting to rent your home, talk to employers and personal references, professional references, and just make sure that you hopefully are making the right decision on the good tenant.
Mm-hmm. So you've had years of experience doing that. Do you just have a gut feeling now? Like you're like these people are going to take care of the house? Or
It's to this day, it's still really tough. I'd like to think that over the years, I've developed maybe a little bit, but I'll say that I've been surprised in both directions in the past. I've brought people in that I thought were going to be fabulous, and they've turned out to be lousy. And I brought people in that I was so about and feeling like I was maybe settling, and they've been terrific. It's really a crapshoot. You just do have to go with your gut after all is said and done, after you've done your thorough enough research on the individuals or the couples or families or what have you.
can we talk about like the stability of this type of investing? What's like, in your opinion, like what does that look like? And even just like market terms.
Again, I'm a bit biased because I'm a realtor. I tend to think that investing in real estate is one of the safest long-term plays you can make. For many years, I didn't put any money in the stock market because I wanted to save my money and buy property. And it's good to have, when it comes to retirement, it's good to have different buckets, so to speak, of ways to build wealth. And so, in my opinion, the real estate market, as we all know, is cyclical over time. But again, if you are looking to build wealth over time, then I don't think there's a better way to do it than real estate. Most markets continue to go up over time, some more quickly than others. It's been my experience that's been the case. Talking not only here in the greater New England area, but talking to my colleagues throughout the country, we do see evidence that property prices are rising.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. They don't make land anymore. Or it's in short.
No, they don't. Not in this country.
Yes, not here. And it's interesting because of the whole cryptocurrency market and stuff like that. And even though I believe cryptocurrency is a long-term kind of a strategy, I'm a big believer in long-term investing, but a lot of people are switching over to real estate because of the cryptocurrency. It's a lot less stable in certain ways, and real estate is a complete opposite, where it's very stable. You kind of know, hey, like it's going to go up eventually, and the value, there's an asset behind like the actual investment that you're making. Yeah, I love that. And then having the different buckets, which is the diversification, super important.
Absolutely. And just within the last, I would say 5 years, and again, I can only speak to my area specifically, but we've seen more appreciation in the value of homes in the last 5 years than probably in any time in history. If you bought a house in the early 1980s and you sold it in, say, the 2010, you were going to make a profit. Maybe it was 100,000, maybe it was 200. I don't know. It depends on a lot of factors. But people who are buying homes, who bought homes like 5, 6, 7 years ago, who are selling them now, you're seeing massive amounts of profit, equal to what you would have seen in that previous example in some cases. Mm-hmm. So it's really just absolutely unbelievable. And of course, as we know, properties are just selling for outrageous amounts of money right now. Whether you are in it for the long game, like myself, or whether or not you are looking to flip a home, chances are, if you're smart about it, you'll be able to make money. Flipping is a whole nother conversation, a whole nother one of these calls. But if you're good about it and you're smart about it, you can make money in that field as well.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll have to touch on that.
Yeah, sure.
Next time.
Of course.
Cool, Adam. Until next time.
All right. Hey guys, if you're liking this content and are eager to hear more, I would encourage you to keep on watching. Click on the button to subscribe, and you will be the first to get new, fresh content as soon as I put it on the internet.